I will pass it over to Holly for our official introduction of our featured artist for this Thursday evening.
Okay, well, tonight we have our feature artist who is Marilyn. So Marilyn is a graduate of the Fashion Institute of Technology. Marilyn worked in retail as an assistant director and as a freelance fashion illustrator. Her work has appeared in Women's Wear Daily, Vogue, Playbill, and the New York Times. Most of these illustrations were done in black with gray washes, and Marilyn longed for color. To that end, Marilyn returned to college, receiving a BS in art education in 1993 and an MA in painting in 1997 from New Paltz University. Marilyn has had solo exhibitions at the Woodbury Library, Middletown Art Center, and the New York Conservatory for the Arts, and participated in group shows at the Downing Film Center in Newburgh. I don't know if I'm going to say this one right. Varial's Space Backroom Art Gallery and Howland Cultural Center, both in Beacon, and the Bruce Museum in Greenwich, Connecticut. And for tonight, Marilyn, in these paintings, she sought to portray individuals as they were daydreaming, comfortable with their own thoughts and company, in their own world and detached from the present. So we look forward to seeing it, Marilyn. Can't wait.
Thank you, Holly, for the introduction. And I have to give a lot of credit to Madagascar because he was so patient. He came to my house and filmed everything because I knew I wouldn't be able to do it correctly and then present it on Zoom. So he took care of it all, and I really appreciated that. Did a wonderful job.
Wonderful.
And now he's going to put the video.
Awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the video, and Marilyn is going to talk us through it a little bit. So I'll ask for you to mute yourself just because we really want to make sure we hear Marilyn. And then after the video, it's about 5.5 minutes. We can open it up for any like questions or comments or thoughts or compliments to the artist.
Okay, this was the first painting that I did. This was during the lockdown, and it's a large painting. It's 48 inches high. Uh, it's just a young woman uh, relaxing with her pet, with her dog, and she's dreamily looking off into space. The one on the top on the left-hand side is just a portion of a figure. Well, you'll see it again in a minute. This was my granddaughter. I really wanted to do a solitary figure standing in a very simple space. And I saw a photo of her, and that's her dog. And there's that face again, the partial face. This is a painting of a young woman, very comfortable. It's not quite finished yet. I still have some background to do in it, and I'd like to model the legs a little more. I think they look a little flat, so I still have a little more work to do on that painting. This is my daughter, Debbie. Doesn't really look like her, but that's okay. She modeled for me. This was from her prom, and I just loved the way she looked that night. I loved her hair and her outfit, the amber that she wore. And I finally got to paint that. That was something I'd wanted to do for quite a few years. This is an older painting. It's my husband Thomas, and he was probably around 16 at the time, living in Monroe in his backyard with his dog Snooper. This is a young lady. I hope to capture the colors of the flowers and her dress to match her eyes and her beautiful red hair. I like the golden background. I really like that color. It's one of my favorites. I'm actually wearing a dress tonight in that color. This is my daughter, Sarah. It's not a portrait. It doesn't necessarily look like her. Um, she had on a winter outfit. I think she was sitting in her car waiting for traffic. And I wanted to do a painting that had a lot of black in it. And then she had these great big hoop earrings, which I thought added something to the painting. The one down at the bottom with the lavender background is just a young lady wrapped in a shawl. This is my niece Christine and her dog Frankie. Should be very pleased with me that I made her so slim. I really concentrated on getting the details in this young woman's face. I wanted to blend and make her complexion look very lifelike. I tried something different. I usually use solids, and I decided to do patterns. As a fashion illustrator, I did a lot of patterns, so I wasn't too crazy about them, but in painting them, it was much more fun doing my own. And this painting has a bar in the middle, so it's not going to hang up. So I'm going to demonstrate it instead. And this young lady is also relaxing and gazing into space, and she's got some lovely fabrics around her, so she should be nice and comfortable. All of these were on the last November Library Artist of the Month. So Tony, now you know what to expect. I also have music in the background. So I believe that's it. It was fun doing that. And back to Madagascar.
I was wondering something, Marilyn. Do you know Marilyn Vanderpool?
Yes, yeah, I believe my daughter dated her son at some point.
She started out as a fashion illustrator too. I think. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you guys went to the same college or not.
I don't know. I have seen her work. I know actually at a class she graduated, I believe, the same year that my husband did, and she did some paintings that she presented at the reunion. I think they were all landscapes. So
Mhm.
I sort of know her. Not in person. I know of her more.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I know her quite well. We paint together a lot.
Oh,
So
So, um, but I wanted to say that your paintings are really lovely.
oh, thank you.
You really can see the skill that you have in the human figure in your paintings.
Well,
yeah,
that's
like
what I did. Although those years was drawing and painting, mostly women. I did do some men's illustrations. But it was mostly
Hmm.
women.
I'll just say, like, I love how maybe it's just me. I always like to get a psychological read on it, like how direct, like right in the face. Like you see how my face is like it's there's no like I notice there's not a lot of 3/4 poses. They're mostly very direct, like except for the ones that you were trying to create this sort of a lounging, relaxing kind of
Yeah.
feeling. But a lot of the paintings that are just like looking directly at you, it just gives a very powerful kind of effect to it. You're on the technical level, it's excellent. I was gonna say like yeah, the what was it, the woman in green laying down with their legs were, yeah, they need a little bit of definition, definitely. That would, if I could give a critique, and that's part of the reason why we're here. Um, I love the textures. I love every single, if you know, all the fabrics that you integrate into it. I love your sense of color balance. The painting with the the young woman in green with the gold background, that was definitely my favorite as well. I could see why it would be yours. Just the way it flowed, the way the visual information, it just went from, you know, the flower, you see this woman in the front, the flowers and this gold background giving a kind of I don't know how to describe it, the quality. Um, but yeah, these paintings are quite amazing. I was used to seeing your work. What was it? Some of the work that you had come up with before the gallery.
Yeah, they
Before,
were
before I
organic.
said gallery, was it
They were the
decaying?
organic nests and
Yeah. So like it's interesting to
organic.
see your painting style when it comes to something that is more figurative. You know, these are all portraits, and I just find that quite fascinating, and I really like your technique and your approach to each one of
Mhm.
them.
Oh, thank you.
I'll
I,
be quiet for
you
a
know,
moment just so
with,
somebody else can get a word in.
with you talking about them being full face on, a lot of them I had to work from photographs, and people always pose straight, you know, straight on. You're not really capturing them. Maybe in a snap you might. So, you know, that's the way it was. And I'm glad you said that because you sort of verified what I was concerned about, because I thought I really would have liked to have made them look more pensive and looking down or looking away. But you know, that wasn't what I had to work with. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll say
Do you
yeah.
do you sometimes get your family or to people to pose for you so you can do those types of drawings, or is that harder?
Well, my children don't live at home anymore, and my husband certainly would not sit still.
Hmm.
So not really. I unfortunately usually if I like the little kids,
Hmm.
I do one, but it's always been from photographs. That's not to say I haven't worked from live models. I mean, I've gone to life drawing classes all of my life. You know, since I was 16, I've been going to life drawing class.